Well, it is football's holy grail and terrorists' unholy goal. Disrupt the Super Bowl, and those twisted guys know they've super scored. The Secret Service ready to troll social media now, looking for any sort of clues of an attack. Intelligence analyst Paul Viollis says that, well, they've got their work cut out for them. Paul, what do they do around now? What are they doing around now? I know you can't give away super secrets, but obviously they're checking everywhere, right?
Yeah, most certainly, Neil. I think the biggest issue right here is for everyone to understand the business model behind this, because once we do, it makes a lot more sense. And the simplest thing is, and as you've said, this is the greatest stage with respect to special events. So the one thing that not just the Secret Service, but all federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies are going to be looking for are actually the same things that the general public on social media, if they see, they should be contacting police. And I'll be specific with that. You got to understand, the greatest return on investment is going to be this game. So in order to safeguard it, law enforcement's taking measures on what I refer to as the top four: cash, credentials, pictures, and questions. So what I mean by that is, if you look for somebody on social media, now we know that ISIS, we know the lone wolves, we know that the homegrown guys, they're using social media to communicate plans. We know that. So now what do we look for? If someone's out there on social media and they're talking about looking for a ticket, I'll spend 10 grand, I'll spend 15 grand, it's cash. That's a problem. They're looking for that. Credentials.
Well, isn't that like a third of the stadium right there? I mean, a lot of these guys pay through the nose just to get in there.
Right. Well, when you've got somebody that's going on any one of these, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it may be, and they're shopping, right? That's a red flag. The other thing are credentials. Now Neil, with respect to credentials, press credentials are hard to come by. So you don't want somebody to have press credentials. You don't want someone to have vendor credentials. When people are shopping for those, that's a red flag. They're going to be looking for that. Also, pictures. You notice on Twitter, you'll notice on Instagram, people are going to be looking, not just law enforcement, but remember, general public, if you see this, if people are showing pictures like aerial photos of the stadium, pictures of cameras and camera locations, security checkpoints, parking lot areas, that's a red flag. These are things they're going to be scanned for. And lastly, questions. Sometimes you get people that will sound like overly simplistic, and believe it or not, those are the ones that are concerning. Sort of like, I've never been to the Super Bowl before. What kind of security do they have? How are they screening bags? What can I get in? Things like that. Those are red flags. Those are things not only law enforcement will be looking for, but clearly the general public, if you see this, these are one of those things you need to be reporting.
Do you know whether they are monitoring or getting more chatter than they would normally get?
Oh, there's no question about that. Yeah. But the comforting thing, though, Neil, and I say this without without disclosing anything I shouldn't. Right. The comforting thing is that we have such a sophisticated system, and not just the federal but state and local law enforcement, with respect to scanning and monitoring events like this on social media. We are way ahead of the curve, and there are some really terrific people that have been working for a long time for this Sunday.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you.
Always a pleasure, Neil.
All right. Well.